3 different recipe for the perfect breakfast. Do you know the perfect breakfast for your body? Food is one of the basic necessities of life. During the day, eating is typically divided into 3 main meals in most cultures: breakfast, lunch and dinner. The importance of these meals is centered around the quantity and quality of the food consumed. This means that even if you tend to eat throughout the day, the amount eaten during these meals tends to be more. With respect to quality, the ideal is to consume foods that are healthy for the body. The importance of breakfast. Without a doubt, each meal we consume is important, especially if you take into account the nutrients and proteins that your body gains from eating. However, breakfast undoubtedly is the most important meal of the day. This is because it's the first meal of the day after sleeping, during which your body has gone without food. Generally speaking, a person sleeps between 8 and 9 hours. For this reason, you should eat breakfast in order to stock up on energy in the morning. The problem is that many people are unaware of the importance of this meal, and some people make poor food choices. Thus, the first food your body receives ends up being insufficient and doesn't provide the necessary energy for the body. Tips for a good breakfast. First of all, quantity is not comparable with quality. Most people often confuse this, and think breakfast has to be a large meal. Because of this, a number of potential hazards to the body can be encountered during this meal. Based on the above, we're going to present some excellent tips and alternatives to make breakfast a great meal. 1. Mango and chia seeds recipe. The components of this recipe can contribute to a great start to the day. These ingredients provide energy to the body and, most importantly, are delicious. Ingredients. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 20 grams. 1/2 cup of vegetable milk, 125 milliliters. 1 ripe mango, medium. The juice from 1 lime. 1 natural yogurt, 125 grams. Steps. Put the chia seeds and the vegetable milk in the same container and let the seeds soak for 40 minutes. Meanwhile, peel the mango and cut it in half. Extract the maximum possible pulp. Set aside for later. Then, pour the chia seeds and milk and add the mango pulp. Mix well. Finally, add the lime juice and natural yogurt, to taste. Enjoy at breakfast time completely cold. It's delicious. 2. Banana muffins with cocoa. Banana muffins with cocoa are an excellent alternative and are great for sharing at breakfast time. However, because they take longer to make, this recipe is recommended for the weekends or for those days where you have some extra time to work. Ingredients: 2 ripe bananas, 7 tablespoons of brown sugar, 70 grams, 1/2 tablespoons of baking soda, 5 grams, 1/2 tablespoons of salt, 5 grams. Two tablespoons of sunflower oil, 32 grams. 3/4 cup of rice milk, 150 milliliters. 1/2 tablespoon of yeast, 5 grams. 2 tablespoons of cocoa with no added sugar, 20 grams. Steps: First, preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Using a fork, mash the bananas in a bowl. Add the sugar to soften the puree. Next, mix in the baking soda, salt, oil and combine with the rice milk and yeast. Finally, add the cocoa and mix well. Spoon the dough into the muffin molds, preferably non-stick. Then, put in the oven for 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Wait for them to cool down to before eating. Three eggs with spinach. For many people, a breakfast without eggs is not enough to fill up in the mornings. However, eggs alone are not the best alternative. Mixing eggs with some vegetables ends up being excellent choice, not only because it tastes better, but because it's good for you too. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 16 grams. Spinach. 3 mushrooms. 1/2 head of lettuce. 2 eggs. Salt and pepper to taste. Steps. First, add the olive oil in a pan and heat it to medium heat. Meanwhile, chop all the vegetables and add them to the pan. Finally, pour the eggs and stir together with the remaining ingredients until fully cooked. Enjoy these healthy breakfast recipes.